on OU Nightly. New data shows nearly 1 in 5 flu tests in Oklahoma are positive. What on-campus resources are available to stay safe? Plus, Valentine's Day flowers are more expensive. Why one local florist says tariffs are to blame.
And this weekend, we are expecting our first bit of substantial rain for the month of February, also bringing a chance for severe weather. I'll let you know the threats and the timing coming up in the full forecast. This is OU Nightly.
If you have outdoor plans for Valentine's Day, you might have to bring those plans inside. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Caroline Kramer.
And I'm Clay Webster. Rain chances are moving into Norman this evening that could last well into Saturday. OU Nightly meteorologist Aiden Bruns joins us in studio with what to expect. Aiden?
Yeah, guys, Caroline, Clay. The sun outside and these beautiful temperatures are very deceiving with what we've got going on. Here's our campus cam on South Campus at the National Weather Center. And current temperature is sitting at 75, feeling like 77 degrees right now. It's not going to be quite the same coming into this evening and tomorrow specifically. So far, we haven't had any rain so far for the month of February. So this is some good news. We are expecting 1 to 2 inches possible for us here in Norman, which is going to make a big damper on that drought. But things are going to change heading into later next week. So as for this evening, you are going to have to look out for the rain. Temperatures are still going to be very reasonable for heading out if you do have plans, but you're definitely going to need a layer or an umbrella because of that rain. So we're going to break down the severe weather threats in your full forecast, as well as what you can expect for Valentine's Day and the week after. Sending it back to you guys at the desk.
Aiden, thank you. And if you've been feeling under the weather this time of year, there is a reason why. OU Nightly's Gracie Steinbrink joins us live. Gracie?
Yes, Caroline, I'm standing outside of OU Goddard Health Center where students have been coming and going all day. The reason? Goddard tells us it's mostly the flu. If you're feeling under the weather, you're not alone. Health officials say flu activity is higher this season. Goddard Clinical Administrative Director Maggie Poole tells us a couple weeks ago, 80% of the students they saw with flu-like symptoms tested positive, and flu season is not over.
I will say this has been a hard flu season. Last year was particularly hard, probably one of the hardest ones in 2 decades even. And this year seems like it's following the same track.
The flu vaccine is 60 to 65% effective on average and only 30 to 40% this year. But Maggie made it clear the vaccine is one of the best ways to combat the flu, and it's not too late.
Getting the flu shot is still beneficial to help prevent severity of symptoms and the hospitalization rates.
She gave us some other tips to avoid catching it.
Probably the most important thing is when you are sick to stay home, rest. I would say trying when somebody else is ill to try to stay some distance away from them. Of course, covering your cough and your sneezes. Washing hands, I think I can't say enough to wash hands as often as possible.
Maggie tells us you can still get your flu vaccine all the way through June at Goddard. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Gracie. And in continuing flu coverage, the State Department of Health has released their weekly flu numbers. OSDE is reporting that Oklahoma's positive flu rate is just 19% higher than the national average. That just under 1 in 5 flu tests in Oklahoma are coming back positive. The positivity rate is even higher in OSDE Zone 6, the area that includes Cleveland County and Norman, where the rate is sitting just above 22%. That percentage is also above the national average.
Norman Public Schools will be in session next Monday. Students originally had the day off, but due to missed days from last month's snowstorm, students will head back on Monday. Starting that day, NPS will add 2 minutes to each school day. April 17th will also move from a professional development day to a normal school day.
It's been a week since the Winter Olympics started. Let's take a look at where the U.S. medal count stands. The U.S. has won 4 gold medals in alpine skiing and freestyle skiing, as well as speed skating and figure skating. The country also has 7 silver medals and 3 bronze.
Now let's take a look at that compared to the rest of the world. Norway has the most medals and gold medals with 18 total and 8 golds. Italy has won 18 total medals as well. This puts the U.S. in 3rd in total medals and gold medals. If you're looking to buy a special someone flowers for Valentine's Day, it might be a little pricey. What local florists say the reason is coming up.
And an update in the trial of former CNN anchor Don Lemon. His plea when we come back.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Love is in full bloom, but so are the prices for Valentine's Day gifts. OU Nightly's Gigi Siki explains why your Valentine's Day bouquets might cost a little more this year.
Season of love is in the air, and so are rising prices.
There's not really a cheap flower anymore.
According to the National Retail Federation, consumers will spend about $3.1 billion on flowers this Valentine's Day.
I'm currently on Flood Avenue, where I just got these beautiful flowers at Redbud Floral and more information on how tariffs are impacting the floral industry and your wallet.
Imported goods such as flowers, vases, and even the storage buckets to hold the flowers have seen a significant price jump. With over 80% of fresh flowers sold in the U.S. imported from South America, the 2025 tariffs, ranging from 10 to 25%, will significantly impact the market.
We're getting tariff charged on every order we receive because we do a lot of importing, and not only fresh cut flowers, but also hard goods. So we're getting hit on both ends. Chocolate has also gone up. This holiday, our prices are up as well.
Despite the blooming $15 increase for a dozen roses, the sentiment behind it remains priceless. After all, you can't put a price tag on making someone smile.
Reporting from Flood Avenue, Gigi Siki, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Gigi. Two ICE officers have been placed on administrative leave after lying under oath. Sutton Parker has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
We begin in Minneapolis, where federal authorities have opened a criminal probe into whether or not two ICE officers lied about shooting a Venezuelan man last month. It's part of a joint investigation with ICE and the Justice Department after they received video evidence contradicting the officers' statements. The two have been placed on administrative leave pending an internal investigation. Also in Minnesota, former CNN anchor Don Lemon appeared in court today, where he pleaded not guilty to charges relating to the FACE Act. The independent journalist was arrested in January after live streaming a church protest in St. Paul. Lemon is insisting that he was only covering the protest and not a participant. And another federal shutdown is expected for this weekend, this time affecting the Department of Homeland Security. Funding for the department is expected to stop Saturday as Democrats say they won't approve more funding until new restrictions on ICE are put in place.
This vote today asked a simple question. Will you rein in ICE's abuses, or will you vote to extend the chaos? Republicans chose chaos, and the Democrats, we refused.
In a week-long recess, the department potentially could not reopen for at least 11 days. Clay, Caroline.
Thanks, Sutton. And if you don't have a special someone to spend Valentine's Day with, you're not out of luck yet.
Coming up, find out where you can go on a blind date this weekend with a special something.
And for any of those outdoor dates and Valentine's Day plans, you may want to consider bringing them inside with rain chances picking up for this weekend. Stay tuned. We'll have the full forecast after the break.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to OU Nightly, everyone. And we made it to Friday, but some big news with Valentine's Day on the brink of tomorrow. Well, we've got a severe weather threat starting tonight. It carries on into tomorrow, but here's what we need to look out for. A marginal threat for severe weather, which is just a 1 on a scale of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center, but it does include Norman in much of central and western Oklahoma. So here's what we are looking out for. There's a chance for hail, flooding, and some damaging wind gusts. So we're looking at golf ball size hail possible, more so on the quarter size scale. Otherwise, the winds are going to possibly be up to 70 miles per hour. And locally, heavy rainfall could lead to some flash flooding in some areas. So we are kind of worried about all of that stuff. But let's track it out for you and how it looks on Futurecast. The rain, you don't see it on Futurecast quite yet. We don't have any rain falling at the moment. But heading into this evening, the sprinkles start and then it gets a lot heavier moving into overnight hours tonight. 10 o'clock, we see some of those heavier showers moving through. See that red, so there's some chance for some thunderstorms moving in with that as well. So definitely keep that in mind. If you're going to be outside tonight by any means, definitely need a rain jacket or an umbrella, but definitely just consider staying inside. Seeing some more heavier showers into the overnight morning hours and into Saturday. Well, if this line shifts just a little bit to the north, we could get a lot more rain. So there's a chance that we may be dry tomorrow in the later morning, but we also could be getting a lot more rain. And then we just see this whole system kind of circling around Norman and central Oklahoma. So we do have a chance to see a little bit more showers Saturday evening and into the overnight hours. However, getting into Sunday, good news is the clouds stick around just for a little bit and then we start to clear out, and that's when we are hoping for some more sun and temperatures to warm back up. But how much rain are we talking? If we get more rain from that lower southern band, we're expecting possibly 2 inches of rain. But you do see we're on the cusp here, so we could be in that green shade if these models track us to be any later on the rainfall. So 1 inch to 2 inches is pretty much what we're forecasting here at OU Nightly. But Let's just talk about how dry it has been. So far, we haven't had any rain in February, and the wettest February was about 7.5 inches, but normal is about 1.5 inches. So after this weekend, hopefully we're gonna put a damper in the drought, but things are looking pretty dry for us on the latter half of the scale. So otherwise, looking at tomorrow, temperatures are still gonna be warm in the 60s. Just definitely consider staying inside. But with this cold front moving through, winds are going to shift from the south and into the north, but gusting in that 15 to 20 mile per hour range. We could see even 30 mile per hour wind gusts throughout just the regular part of the day, not just when those storms are moving through. So definitely keep that in mind. But as for your Valentine's Day forecast, temperature is still going to be on the warmer side, above average, but the rain chances do go down. So if you do have date night plans with some friends or just with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you should be okay. Just maybe keep that rain jacket in the car. As for your 7-day forecast, though, temperatures get a little bit cooler with that cold front coming through, but the 70s come back and we're going to feel like it's spring all over again. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aiden. Now, this is a blind date you don't have to be nervous about. Today and tomorrow, you can go to Yellow Dog Coffee Shop and enjoy a blind coffee date with a book.
The blind date includes a book, and after that, you'll order your drink. The dates cost $15 for a secondhand book and $25 for a new book, with the drink included.
Coming up in Big Friday sports, one team just finished out their first game on a path to a national championship.
And one player's long-awaited debut deserves a standing ovation. This and more coming up after the break.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Just one preseason game into the season, had surgery.
We'll have more on that special moment in a minute. Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Chris Holman and I'm joined at the desk by Hunter Cornejo.
Big NBA news today as former Thunder guard Chris Paul announced his retirement after 21 seasons. Staying with the Thunder, some things are just bigger than sports. And that's the case for Thunder rookie guard Nikola Topic, getting his well-deserved standing ovation. Topic's journey to the NBA was far from easy. Not long before the 2024 NBA draft, he tore his ACL. Then last October, he was diagnosed with cancer. Last night, it was finally time for his NBA debut. On to some highlights. It's going to be all about the Bucks, though. Former Thunder forward Ousmane Dieng stealing the show, 19 points. Bucks get the win, 110-93.
OU women's basketball hosted Florida last night and looked to end their 2-game losing streak. The Sooners started off slow, only shooting 28% from the field in the first half, but the second half was a different story. Peyton Verhulst and Aaliyah Chavez both finished with 16 points, while Zia Van had a team-high 18 points, helping OU to an 81-74 come-from-behind win. The head coach Jenny Bronchek could only describe as playing Oklahoma basketball.
We thought
In the second half, I mean, Zaya came alive. I thought Aaliyah came alive, just in terms of their leadership, not in terms of their scoring, not in terms of anything in particular. But I thought, you know, they were slightly challenged at half with a smile. But I thought we just played Oklahoma basketball a lot more in the second half than we did in the first.
And opening day for Skip Johnson and the Sooners. Left-hander Cam Johnson, the Friday starter, getting the ball against Texas Tech. What an outing. 6 innings, 11 strikeouts. Gonna be must-see TV to open each series. Also a great day offensively for the Sooners. 3 home runs and the dagger grand slam from Brendan Brock. Sooners win 10-3. And Sooner born, Sooner bred is a common saying. I caught up with a former player that displays this.
It's gone! 3-run home run for Bryce Madron.
From hitting round trippers to flashing the leather in the outfield, Blanchard native Bryce Madron made a name for himself wearing the crimson and cream. After earning all Big 12 second-team honors, Madron was selected in the 10th round of the 2024 MLB draft by the St. Louis Cardinals. The Oklahoma native worked his way up to Double-A before he was cut in August. Now, he's back in Norman as a student coach for Skip Johnson and the Sooners.
It's a huge starting point, especially being in the SEC now. Being around Reggie and Skip and all those guys, they're really teaching me a lot. It's been a good experience.
For head coach Skip Johnson, adding someone like Bryce Madron to his staff was a no-brainer.
He understands the mental side of the game, you know, one pitch at a time, taking a breath, routines. I think that's what he's really good at it. That's where his future is in baseball.
Winning a state championship with Blanchard, earning the Sooners' first and only Big 12 regular season title, then winning a league title with the Palm Beach Cardinals in Single-A in 2024. Bryce Madron's experienced a lot of winning throughout his career. Now as a coach, he believes he can help this Sooners team do the same.
This group's really special. We've got a really, really good outfield, so I'm just excited to see what happens with them. I can help these guys out and further their career.
He's just an overachiever and a guy that takes that underdog mentality to everything he does, and it's a unique gift.
One of the few players remaining from Madron's playing days is now junior outfielder Jason Walk, who's grateful for a former teammate to join the staff.
Bryce was shut down in right field, so it really does help. You know, somebody who's been playing on the same field, the same position, he's been there.
Excited for the opportunity to coach, the goal remains the same, accomplishing something for the first time since 1994.
I just want to help this team get to a national championship. That's really our main goal here.
At Kimry Family Stadium, Hunter Cornejo, OU Nightly.
OU baseball isn't the only team that had an action-packed day. OU softball had a doubleheader against Montana and New Mexico State, and in their game against the Grizzlies, OU crushed 8 home runs, taking down Montana 17-0 in 5 innings, and crushed New Mexico State 18-6 in 5 innings. And after years of controversy, the new home of OU basketball and women's gymnastics has been approved.
See what students on campus think about the new arena and how, in their opinion, it could change OU athletics forever. After the break.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. We've talked a lot about the diamond, but I think it's about time to move back to the court.
OU Nightly sports reporter Elle Gedman is in North Norman with more details on a new home for 3 Sooner athletic teams.
Yeah, Hunter, the plans for the new Rock Creek Entertainment District are officially underway, and what looks like a big empty field behind me will soon be that district. Norman residents have some pretty mixed opinions on it, so I asked OU students how they're feeling about the new arena.
I don't really support what OU's doing, overriding the demands of the Norman community, kind of just making decisions based on what they think is going to make them the most money, not what's best for the state of Oklahoma and for Norman. Yeah, I probably won't be attending any games at the new stadium. It's less accessible. This is clearly meant to be a way for the university to make even more money. I mean, at this point, I feel like they treat their students like ways to make money, so it makes it less convenient for students, and it makes sports more of an income stream than what they should be.
I feel like that's making it more accessible to students, especially if it has more amenities around it. There's more to do for students and more to explore. I already drove to Lloyd Noble to go to the one basketball game that I've been to, and if they're like promoting more and having more around there, I definitely want to check it out.
I think I'll probably go like the same amount, just like considering like this one's kind of farther too. So I already drive to this arena, so driving to the other one wouldn't be much more of a hassle.
It kind of seems like more of like an event for you because it's not where you live. Like you got to go somewhere and there's actually stuff to do. It's not like the same as all of this.
Yeah, I think more of the same thing because I would already be driving to the current arena, so if they're going to be adding entertainment around the new arena, I think it's just going to bring more people there.
Yeah, I think it makes it more worth it.
I think it can make it more accessible just for like the commuters who do travel anyways, like they're traveling regardless. It could help bring people like together, but also I feel like a lot of people don't want to leave campus if they don't have to. I honestly don't think it would have an effect on me going to OU games just because I'm not really interested in like basketball like that. So I feel like, I don't know, also driving doesn't really, it's not a big incentive for me. I'd rather walk to the OU games, so I don't think it will have an effect on my attendance.
A new stadium, I'd probably go to a couple more games than I do at this one. I think this old one's a little outdated. Scoreboard's a little small. My eyes aren't very good, so I can't read it very well. It's not the driving that bothers me, it's the parking, especially here. A lot of people don't know how to park, and so I think if you make all these people that walk to these games go park at the other games, it's going to be a big old mess.
Construction for the billion-dollar district is expected to start in November of 2026 with hopes of it being done by 2029. Reporting live in Norman for OU Nightly, I'm Elle Gedman.
Thanks, Elle. After defeating Vanderbilt last weekend, OU men's basketball is trying to start a winning streak. Here's Sooners head coach Porter Moser ahead of Saturday's game versus Georgia.
I wanted the theme not to be relief. We can't just be, relieved, we won. No, the foot's got to go on the gas pedal harder. Our sight line can't be anything past Georgia. As a leader, you always have to have a transfer of belief. There's always a path. There's a path. And that path starts with one game at a time. And that's Georgia. That's Georgia.
OU women's gymnastics keeps flipping through their schedule after going 3-0 in the Metroplex Challenge last weekend thanks to season highs on the vault and the floor. And next up for the Sooners is a ride down to the Swamp for a top 5 matchup against the Florida Gators. That meet is scheduled to start tonight at 5:45 on ESPN2. Now that's all the time we have for Big Friday Sports. Have a safe and wonderful weekend.